This is Whatever You Do, Do Not Read This Story Out Loud. They Might Hear You, by Trendy Trux35. I cannot stress this enough. Do not read this story out loud. Do not mention anything about this story in any audible way. Pass this on via message through cyberspace only. It seems to be the only way to keep your distance without them finding you. Please, 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 for your own safety, do not say anything about this out loud, especially their name. Those that I'm referring to are known by a few names. Navajo culture refers to them as Yinalushi. Some natives in Canada, the northwestern coast, and the Great Lakes region tribes refer to them as Wendigos. I refer to them as skinwalkers. Call them what you will, but do not say any of their names out loud. Well, I guess I'm fucked. I say this because they hear their name and respond to it in a way a great white shark reacts to a drop of blood in the open ocean. It's not a simple hunt that skinwalkers perform in a general direction of the audible name. It is an instinct, a drive so animalistic that it is ingrained in every single one of them. Say it once, and you may get lucky that the trail goes cold, that their senses are diluted, and you escape. Say it twice. Well, at that point, you're playing with fire. You're taunting something that not even your worst nightmares could come close to touching. They will not hunt you down instantly. No, all things take time in this world. They do not move fast, but they move at a steady pace. They will find you. Whether it be days, weeks, months, or years, well, that depends on just how evasive you manage to be. But don't worry, they all catch up eventually. I'm writing this to you simply because I have made that mistake. Once when I was young, I read the name out loud in a folklore book while trying to sound it out. Strike one. The second mistake I made just last month at a trivia night at my local bar. The question referred to the mythical creatures of terror in Navajo folklore, and I guess after one too many shots, the name slipped out of my mouth. I know they're coming for me. It's only a matter of time. I'm going to keep a running log. It's the only way I'll stay sane. Maybe somebody will stumble upon this and finally get some mainstream knowledge on this legend. Navajo tribes are extremely tight-lipped about this subject for good reason. Skinwalkers respond to audible sounds of their names. They aren't like demons from exorcism movies who have proper names. No. These things all go by their standard names of Skinwalker, Wendigo, or Nadlushi. For simplicity, to save myself time, they'll be skinwalkers from here on out. Nobody knows the true figure of skinwalkers. There's accounts from those who were lucky enough to escape for just long enough. Skinwalkers are genderless, gaunt, pale figures. They stand 7 to 8 feet tall. At times, they move to all fours and crawl around with the grace of a tiger or lion. Yet most are comfortable and mobile on their 2 feet as bipedals. Some take on the shape of a moose head with the long, wide, paddle-like antlers. Some purely take the shape of a human face with barely recognizable features. The best I can describe their human appearance is similar to the Slenderman stories, of a tall, long, elongated, thin man with no face. They don't kill you, not instantly. They slowly drive you mad. They thrive on the mental breakdown that you begin to feel every time you think you've seen them. The more that you mentally bleed out with your insanity, the more they come near. Navajo legend is that more appear to quicken the breakdown, but the initial responder is the only one who gets the kill. Now for the fun part. Skinwalkers survive on flesh and emotional distress. They don't destroy a body, only the essence of the human spirit. They inhabit the flesh of those they kill. They walk around wearing their kill's skin, allowing them to blend in among the public. They never look fully there. They look as though they were wearing a semi-expensive Halloween costume. To those that aren't paying attention, nobody bats an eye. But if you really look hard, you'll see the absence of life in their eyes. You'll notice how clumsily they string sentences together. You'll notice that their mouths don't seem to sync up with what their tongue is saying. Imagine a museum of wax with all the perfect collections of human replications. Imagine those being heated to about 85 degrees Fahrenheit, just enough to start becoming deformed. Maybe the wax expands in certain areas. Facial features don't match the mood that they seem to be expressing. That's a skinwalker. There's a good chance you've walked past a couple in your life, but maybe you were just too wrapped up in that Facebook post. They absorb your mental distress, whether it's thoughts, emotions, memories, etc. It's been said that they speak to people in voices that are familiar to their prey. You can hear people that have been dead 40 years, or hear somebody you just talked to earlier in the day. They're tricksters, more or less. The hunt is more than half the fun for them. The Midwestern Canada tribes depicted the Wendigos as giant coyotes. It's fitting, really. They hunt in packs. There's a leader. They torment their prey and are incredibly vocal. I'm sure you're asking yourself, damn, this kid knows a lot about a legend that the people don't talk about. Well, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. You want to know how I found out? Because these fuckers have found me. They've been visible a few times, but I can feel them around me at all times. I can feel their fucked up soulless eyes on me everywhere. The worst? Trying to fucking sleep. I'm too afraid to sleep with my lights off. There's too much moonlight pouring into my bedroom, which only gives me the opportunity to see the shadows fall across my bedroom floor. If I close the shades, I can hear them scratching at the windows trying to get a view. If I leave the lights on, it's impossible to see what's on the other side of the window. Do you want to know what's scarier than being stalked by a deformed, half-melted human? Not knowing if they are on the outskirts of your property or if they're right in front of your window, staring at your every move. I haven't been able to tell how good their sight is at night. I've watched them at night as much as they've watched me. I don't see the Reaper ever during the day. The Reaper is what I call the one coming after me. I'm not sure if it's the same one, but I can just feel it is. I first spotted it at the edge of my tree line in my yard. It was about 2 days after I said it for the second time. I knew what it was right when I saw it. It was a milky figure about 50 yards from me. I couldn't just brush it off because it didn't magically disappear like how all other ghost stories have the apparition conveniently disappear instantly. Nope. I had to stare down with the motherfucker for 6 hours. It saw me, and I saw it. Now, partially the stare down happened because I froze up with fear. I felt like I was in a trance. Something gripped my attention. I knew it could see me, but I felt that it recognized I was aware as well. I sank to my knees after about 2 hours. Only the top of my head would have been visible. About 2 minutes after sinking down, it began to slowly move sideways through the tree line, almost as if it believed I had given up. The second I popped it up, it froze. I tested this theory a few times, and the result was the same. It couldn't make out the top of my head, which makes me believe the vision isn't as good as mine is. I also do not think the critical thinking is there, as I ran through the same cycle about 5 times without it picking up. The skinwalkers seem to run on instinct alone, patterning their behavior on what they see. The biggest problem they have is that they do not interact with other humans. They simply float along. This makes them easiest to spot once trying to converse with one. They're awkward, clumsy, and again, the reactions don't match. Have you seen someone fake laugh? That's how they respond to what they think is a joke. A fake belly-style laugh. However, they fail to move their eyebrows, squint their eyes, and smile in a similar manner. I discovered my first and only true skinwalker 2 days ago when I was out to lunch. I had stopped to open the door for somebody walking out of a local burger joint. I opened it for them and said, "There you go," and tried to slip in the door. The skinwalker stopped just outside the door and responded with a "You're welcome" and a big toothy grin, like they were smiling for a dentist taking x-rays. The eyes seemed to be bubbly and watery, almost like how I would imagine a caricature's dog's eyes would look. The skin around them was saggy, yet the forehead skin was pulled so tight. I gave it an incredulous look, sort of stunned at how awful this thing was. It responded with that god-awful fake belly laugh. The more intense the laugh got, the more freaked out I got. The face itself became almost hazy, like somebody was turning on one of those anonymous filters in front of it. In a split second, the face snapped back to normal and the thing simply walked off. I don't know. It gives me the creeps the way the eyes sort of wobbled back and forth. It still makes my hair stand up. I don't want to believe I'm going through this. I don't want to believe that I saw a human-like moose crawling on all fours, peering from around the side of my shed last night as I took out my trash. I don't want to believe that 5 days ago, a random stranger knocked on my door asking to borrow a spark plug because his car was out of gas while holding his hands out in a thumbs-up position. When I told him I couldn't help him, he said adios and just walked away with an ever so slight haze around him. I don't want to believe I'm hearing the voice of my ex-wife pleading to let her in from the cold as I hear faint tapping on my front door. But let me tell you, it's real. It's all real, happening to me here. This isn't like a video game. I don't have some goddamn progress bar to let me know how close these things are to me. I don't know how much time I have left. They seem close, but nobody is moving in on me yet. Whatever you do, do not say any of this out loud. Otherwise, I can assure you, you'll be in a similar situation to me. I'm sitting here typing this up as I can see the skinwalker just sitting on my shed, waiting for me to finally break, to slip up and open the door the next time it mimics my grandma's voice, to say its name out loud one more time to strengthen its hold over me. Maybe I'm on a cusp, just far enough gone to where I'll be hunted forever. Maybe they're taking the time to wear me down. I wish I had the answers. I only have problems. Fuzzy-faced, emotionally disturbed, mutant moose-sized problems. I just went to my bedroom to get away from the scratching outside my front door. Every window has fog on one of the corners. I'm presuming from one of those things breathing right outside the window, steaming it up. I can see one of them right now as I sit on my bed. It's sitting with just the top of its eyes and head visible. The eyes are sunken back into the oversized sockets. I can see the veins in the eyeballs glowing a fluorescent blue, highlighting the inflamed red around the eye sockets. The eyebrows are at an odd height up on the forehead, as if they started drifting upwards from their normal location. I can see it sizing me up. I feel like I'm being tasted by the sense of light. It started whimpering to me in the infant voice of my brother. "Let me in, please, let me in. I'm freezing out here. How can you just knowingly let me freeze? I'm dying out here. Please just help me. Open the windows so I can warm up, please." And shit like that on repeat. It's really doing a damn good job at driving me insane. I'm half tempted to just open the window and get it over with. These things have been in Navajo culture for thousands of years, probably dating back to the times before paper. How am I supposed to stop something that hasn't been stopped in thousands of years? I'm another statistic. The only hope I have is to eliminate their food supply. Everything starves, right? Maybe by spreading this story, the skinwalkers will start to disappear. Maybe they'll go into hiding or a hibernation. I wouldn't count on it, though. They seem to know what they're doing. So for those of you reading this, just be careful. Tonight, tomorrow, next week, next year. I don't know if the skinwalkers pick up on technical transmitted signals. Maybe they don't yet, but at some point they might adapt. So if you hear a tapping on your window tonight, don't turn over in your bed to check it out. If you see steam in the corner of your living room window, don't go out front to check it out. If you hear somebody knocking at your door unexpectedly, take a quick peek first. Pay attention to the people's hand motions while talking, their facial expressions and reactions. They're out there. They may be after you next, slowly closing in on your whereabouts, awkwardly bumping into you and feasting on the nights that you can't sleep. Or maybe they got me by the time you read this. There's no way of telling. Then again, maybe I didn't write this. Maybe they did. Maybe they do respond to you just thinking the name, saying it over and over in your head. I guess you'll find out.